first I want to reiterate that point that too often we think of our employees as our team and our contractors as something other than our team. But they're all on our team. We should be treating our contractors the same way we treat our employees. Treat them with respect, treat them fairly, treat them well, and treat them like team members.
Yeah. So let's go over really quick sourcing contractors. One of the hardest parts of this business. It's not always the most fun thing to find good contractors out there. If somebody's new to investing or even somebody that's advanced in investing, what kind of points can you give to finding some quality contractors in this business, specifically for flipping houses like this?
Absolutely. So these days, finding and keeping good contractors is literally the hardest part of this business, but there are a few things you can do to kind of increase your chances of success. Tip number one, and this is absolutely my favorite, something I've learned over the last dozen years of investing in real estate: great contractors associate with, recommend, and deal with other great contractors. So typically speaking, if you can find just one great contractor, you should be able to find a whole network of contractors. Find that first great contractor and go up to them and say, hey, I'm looking for, if it's an electrician, I'm looking for a plumber, I'm looking for an HVAC guy, I'm looking for a roofer. Who have you worked with in the past that has been absolutely fantastic that I should call and add to our team? They're going to give you one or two or three names. You're going to call those people. You're going to add them to your team. Then you're going to say the same thing to them. Who are one or two or three other great contractors that I should add to my team? Before you know it, you've got a full team of great contractors.
That's awesome. And so like this is pretty much asking for referrals. And even for, but like I never really thought about asking for referrals from other contractors.
Absolutely.
I know I've always asked for referrals from other good investors that are out there. So other investors that you network with, go to meetups, local events, go on Facebook groups for our BiggerPockets and so forth as well. And I've made a lot of friends with other investors. And one of the first things that I've done over the years is say like, hey, who has a good general contractor, or who has a good handyman, or who has a good plumber, just like what you did with contractors. And that's a really good point. I'm actually going to steal that from you later as well. But do you have any other good tips and stuff for sourcing contractors? Because I think those are two of the best ones, is ask for referrals from contractors and ask for referrals from other investors.
Yep. And keep in mind, you're not just asking for referrals from any contractor, any investor. You're asking for referrals from great contractors and great investors, because great investors, great contractors, we only like to associate with the best.
Yeah, you don't want to be one of those getting referrals from a guy that doesn't pay any of his people whatsoever, pisses off everybody. That doesn't really work out either. So do you have any other tips for sourcing good contractors that somebody could use like today?
Absolutely. So what's a common quality of all great contractors?
I don't know.
They work hard, they get up early, and they're prepared.
Yeah.
So I like to say, if you want to find a great contractor, go to Home Depot, go to your local plumbing supply house, go to your local electrical supply house at 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, and find the contractors that are up shopping for materials and getting ready for their day early in the day. These are the good contractors. These are the guys that are reliable, that are going to be on time, that are going to be at the job early. These are the guys you want in your job. You get to Home Depot at 10 a.m. and you see contractors walking the aisles. These aren't the guys you want to work with, because these are the guys that are going to be showing up at your job at 11 a.m. or 12 in the morning. So get to the supply houses, get to Home Depot, get to Lowe's early in the morning, find the contractors that are working, grab them and hand them your card and say, hey, I've got something for you to do.
I think you just made a number of people watch this video and go like, I will never do that. I have to wake up at 5 a.m. and go to a contractor supply force. I'd say for those of you guys that aren't as like vibrant in the morning as some people, because I know you are absolutely not a morning person.
I'm not a morning person.
That is, and that's not because we know for personal experience, but I just know if I've had experience going to supply houses and going to the supply desks and saying, hey, who comes here and pays their bills? Who actually pays you guys on time to pay for their supplies? And maybe they sometimes have a stack of cards to other contractors and stuff like that. And I've seen that work, because I'm also not a morning person. I've gotten to become a morning person. That's another good thing if you don't want to wake up at 5 a.m. So let's switch to keeping contractors, because it's one thing to find great contractors, another thing to keep them. Because even no matter what you do in this business, we've been doing it for years and years and years, we're always finding new contractors all the time, because the older contractors that maybe we've had and we've kept, maybe they've grown their business, maybe they've shifted to something else, maybe they've messed something up, maybe they have personal issues, and you always need to find and recruit contractors. So I would always recommend anybody watching this, for sure, you should always have a recruiting process for contractors no matter what. Even if you feel comfortable, you never know when you're going to need somebody, because something might happen. But keeping them, I think one of the first things I want to recommend is that treat your contractors like a team member, not an adversary. And I think that I've seen a lot of investors over the years feel like it's an us against them situation, where they're like, okay, they're trying to hurt us on our bids. They're trying to get way more money out of us. Well, of course, they need to make profit too. But if you come to them as a agreement saying, hey, we're doing this together. If we do plenty of business together, I buy these houses, right? You're going to get the business. And you're not going to have to source for new business. You're not going to have to go market yourself. I will keep you busy as we build this relationship, but we got to work together as a team for pricing, and you'll make money, I'll make money, and we'll go from there. And then it's a better relationship, in my opinion, if you treat them as a team member. Do you have any other suggestions with keeping contractors?
Yeah, and first I want to reiterate that point that too often we think of our employees as our team and our contractors as something other than our team. But they're all on our team. We should be treating our contractors the same way we treat our employees. Treat them with respect, treat them fairly, treat them well, and treat them like team members.
Yeah.
Now,
until they prove otherwise.
Until they prove otherwise.
That's another point. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Next thing I would say is have reasonable expectations for your contractors. So all of us are looking for three things when it comes to our contractors. We're looking for better, faster, and cheaper. We're looking for better quality, we're looking for faster work, and we're looking for lower prices. Realistically, you're not going to get all three of those. No. If you find a contractor that has all three of those things, he's got competition from a million other investors.
He's a unicorn. Capture him.
Yeah. Well, ultimately, somebody's going to be willing to pay him more, so he's no longer going to be the cheaper.
So basically, you got to pick two of those things.
Yeah, pick two of the three. Better, faster, cheaper. You get two of those. Decide which one you're willing to give some leeway on. Maybe you're not really desperate to get things done quickly. Then go for the better and the cheaper. Maybe you're willing to spend a little bit more money. Then you're going to get better and faster, but you're not going to get all three.
Which one do you prefer?
I'm generally willing to give up speed. I'm generally willing to take a little bit longer because I want good prices, but I also really, really, really need high quality.
Yeah.
Quality is my brand, so I'm never going to give up on quality, but price is where I make my profit. Yeah. So typically speaking, I'm going to be willing to give up on speed if I have to give up on one of those three.
That's a good point. Me too. I would rather choose cheap quality versus speed. Now, there's a big difference between taking 6 months on a 30-day project, but it's all relative. You got to keep that in mind. And there has been times I know that I've had to pay for the speed because of a market timing or whatever it might be. But most of the time when you guys are buying these houses, your holding costs might not be anywhere near as, like if your holding costs on a house for hard money is like $2,000 a month, well, is it better to get a contractor that does something $5,000 cheaper but takes 30 days longer, right? Because now you're saving in that scenario. You might be taking 30 days longer, but he's $5,000 cheaper and it's only costing you $2,000 in holding costs.
Yep.
So you've saved $3,000 even though it's taking you 3 to 30 days longer. So things to think about on that. Do you have any other last thoughts? Because I have one more if you guys.
Yeah, go for it.
No, so I have another one. I think clear contracts, like contracts make friends stay friends. Not just in construction, but also joint ventures or anything like that, or family members, specifically family members. That if you're doing business with other people, if you put this stuff in clear writing and put it in clear contracts, it kind of keeps with that expectations of what is going to happen on a job. And you want those contracts in place before you actually start the job, because when stuff goes south, because sometimes it does, then you go back to the contract and you're able to say, what did we agree upon on how to handle change orders? What did we agree upon about handling draws or handling payments before we got upset about something they did in the past? And so clear contracts. And I don't mean just sign the contractor's contract. I mean, because most of those are super generic, right? Get some good contracts, work it out with an attorney, or do what we did in the past, steal them from other investors that are friends of ours that got them made by attorneys and stuff, and then we're able to adjust them as time goes on based on state specifics. So our clear contracts show, all right, how much do you get paid? What is the scope of work? The scope of work is attached to the contract. What's the draw schedule? How do you get paid? And when is it okay to get paid? Is there any holdback? We hold back 10% at the end of the project for inspections. What happens with change orders? How do you approve a change order? These are all in the contracts. So there's little misunderstandings. And we make everybody sign the scope of work, including us. We may even make people sign finished packets and stuff. So we try to make it as clear as possible. Do you have anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, I would say first, keep in mind that contracts, we like to think of contracts as these things that kind of bind us together on the things we agree to. Contracts are most important when things go south.
Yes.
We don't need contracts when everything's going well. When everybody is happy, everybody's agreeing on everything, we don't need contracts. The reason we have contracts is for when we disagree on something or when there's a fallout or something bad happens. Mm-hmm. And so it's so important that our contracts capture all those things that can go wrong and what happens in those situations where things go wrong. So your contract should, in addition to all the great things you said, your contract should contain what are the penalties if the contractor doesn't perform? Maybe what are the penalties if you don't perform? What do you do about things like lien waivers? So do you ensure that your contractors and your general contractors and your subcontractors are all signing lien waivers so you don't have to worry about a contractor not getting paid from the GC and then coming back and putting a lien on your property? So these are all the things that you have to think about that could go wrong that need to be captured in the contract so that if and when something does go wrong, and it eventually will, how are you going to remediate it? How are you going to alleviate it?
Absolutely. And for those of you guys listening on this contract piece, it can get a little overwhelming at times. In reality, it's not that complicated. It's pretty simple. Most good contractors will have contracts already. Just review them, get an attorney involved. It's going to keep it even better. If you're like us, we did not get involved in this business because we wanted to deal with contractors, contracts, sourcing, all that kind of stuff, becoming experts in rehab and construction. We didn't want that at all. We just wanted to make money flipping houses, right?
Yep.
And so, but it involves you or somebody on your team needs to become better versed with dealing with contractors at some point, or else the business kind of doesn't become as profitable as it could be. So that said, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, everything with BiggerPockets, specifically this video. I'm Tarl Yarber with Fixated Real Estate. You can follow me on Instagram at Tarl Yarber or my company at FixatedRE. And then Jay.
I'm J Scott. You can follow me on BiggerPockets. I'm on Instagram at JScott_123flip. Facebook, J Scott. BiggerPockets, J Scott. Catch up with me.
And if you guys want more videos like this, make sure you guys put that in the comment section because we do look at them and we will also answer whatever questions we can in the comment section as we review it over time. So see you guys next video.